So welcome to the A4. Here I am in the beautiful new olive livery that's been provided in the update to this aircraft's mod. I'm going to get ground power quickly here.
Chief, turn on the ground power.
Copy. Ground power is now on.
My wingman over there. Aircraft's now spooling up. I'm going to put a little bit of cockpit flood lighting in, just a fraction, and some instrument lighting for the early stages of the flight, and we may bring the brightness up later on. Okay, throttle to the idle position, close the canopy. We'll be taxiing very shortly. We are waiting for a signal from a signals vehicle over to the left. We should be good to go now. Yep, let's move. So, moving off the stand. Put the flaps up, and then we'll go with 1 notch of flap for takeoff. We'll just taxi over here and wait for the green signal from that vehicle over there. That's the communications vehicle, the smaller one, the Jeep. The larger one's an airfield, bit of airfield infrastructure. Excellent, we'll park here. I'll put the external lights on, and you can see they just reflect slightly inside the airplane. While we're waiting, we'll have a wee look at the external views. It's a fantastic model. And there's the green signals. The green flares have just gone up from the signals vehicle, which means the aircraft are inbound, and there I see them. 4 A4s. So we're clear for takeoff. Let's line up. I've gone with 1 notch of down flap. And they're just about coming over the top of me now. So time to line up, and we'll get airborne right away. You can just hear them. Okay. Let's get airborne. My wingman shan't be far behind. So full throttle, nose a little forward here. Stop from rising up, and we need quite a lot of airspeed with the armaments I've got on. Bombs and rockets. And also when landing you need to be fully nose forward with the A4 once you touch down. Okay, we're up. Gear, and we'll bring the flaps up too. It's quite sluggish when it's heavy laden, but we still have 200 knots. Just requires a crap load of back stick. In fact, I'm trimming back now, and away we go. There's visual on the other 4 aircraft. They will make a left turn, and then they'll go in a right hand 180, and that will put them on target for waypoint 4, I think it is, their first waypoint on the way out. Around they go. So my wingman will be some ways behind. I'm going to turn the lights off now. Actually, I'll wait till my wingman forms up, and then we'll turn the lights off then. Once I've got eyes on him, I do have visual of the AI formation, 2 sections of 2. just going in and out of the shadows that the sun is creating on the clouds. That's why the landscape's just changing from light to dark a little there. That's just the shadows. Okay, we pull in behind, and I'll move out to the left, throttling back. And these guys are just shaking themselves out now as they form up on the outbound. I did catch sight of my wingman just then. He's off to the right, and he's now swinging around behind to join from the right, and I've got the 4 other aircraft up here. The first one's just passing through my gun sight now. I'm going to dim the gun sight, so to do that we need to flick it to the night mode here, and that enables me to just dim it down a little. Go with that. Excellent. Taking up position at the rear right, I think. And here we are crossing over the airfield which I got airborne from. That's Mycott. And you can see the livery that they're wearing. It's the 75 Squadron livery. It's a brown and green camo. These guys have done an amazing job with the liveries. In this mod, there's about 20 or so liveries. It's a massive number, and they've got some really beautiful ones. Obviously, being a Kiwi, I have to fly with the RNZAF liveries, so I'm using the olive drab, which is it's called the Kiwi, and these guys have got the 75 Squadron liveries. We have, okay, take a quick look at my one now that we're in flight. It's a fantastic looking livery. My wingman's just drawing up behind now, so we can turn the lights off. Okay, lights are off. And then we'll have a wee look at the liveries that the AI are wearing. So it's me, my wingman, and here they are, 75 Squadron. Take a screenshot here too, I think. Just have to put up with the screenshot notification that pops up. It's a little annoying. You can see my wingman just adjusting his altitude there. That's just DCS doing that. So distance to target is a good 100 or so, at least, kilometers. We're chomping along at just over 300. I need to bring that back to about 290, which is the speed these guys are doing. You can see I'm catching them pretty rapidly here. I'll throw the air brakes out. Good. They're just climbing too for the next waypoint. Probably lost a bit too much speed. I'll try and find the 285, 280 mark. Slow again. I've just of course adjusted slightly right, which I'm also doing now. Wingman bouncing around. So the sun is setting. That is the west, or that's the northwest. It's the middle of summer, quite late in the evening. As you can see, 9:05. So that's 21:07 by the looks of things. And the sun will go down in about 10 or 15 minutes. So it's going to be just below the horizon, I think, when we get to the target area. So we're catching these guys again. Hop, hop, hop. Now if we're higher up, he won't do that. They do that when you're flying relatively close to the ground, because the AI will always try to avoid a collision by a big margin. So provided I've got plenty of altitude above the ground, he will just sit there like that, and if I go lower, then he tries to adjust to avoid a collision. But I want to be as low as these guys up here. I'm sitting above them at the moment. I'm going to lower the shaded panel for the radar TV screen. I'm not going to be using that on the flight, we won't need it. I'm going to be doing everything visually, and then we'll make a visual landing at the end. Even though it will be dark, we're still going to make a visual landing, which will be fun. So VFR landing in the dark, hopefully. The airfield will be lit though, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. The airfield should be lit. Okay, I can afford to go a bit faster. I'm going to go with about just below 90 throttle. You can see we've got 90 there, and it's just giving me 280 or so, which I think is about 1 or 2 k's per hour slower than these chaps. I'd like to be able to close just a fraction more. Just squeeze up a little. In fact, let's give it a good squirt of thrust for a minute or so. As we approach the hills. Sun's pretty low on the horizon. It's about 3 or 4 degrees above the horizon. I'm now doing 340, so I'm going about 40 knots faster than they are, 60-70 kilometers an hour. So we should close this 2 kilometer gap in about 30 seconds to a minute. I'm just going to descend. It looks like my wingman's probably peeled up behind because we're quite close to the ground. You can see the ground is just 100 meters below me here and climbing. Now we're back closing. I'll drop the throttle back to 90%. That should put us on the same airspeed as these guys. Wow, I'm still a lot faster. Now they're going to climb and descend here as we go in and through the valleys. They will as we get to the centre of a valley, and then they'll do what they're doing now. They'll climb up a ridge on the other side. Doing exactly what they just did there. Now this mod is completely free, and in fact this map is free as well. This is the Caucasus map. This comes with DCS World 2.5 for free, so you can actually do exactly what I'm doing here without spending a cent. You can have the map and this aircraft without laying a single dollar of your precious cash across the counter. This is a very high quality mod. There's a lot of other flight sims out there which you would have to pay for something like this. In fact, pretty much all of them. Alright, here we go. Look at that view. Beautiful. And it's going to get even more beautiful, I think, over the next 2 or 3 minutes as the sun drops the last little bit. What a sight. Okay, I'm going to start arming my weapons, so the bombs, and we're going to switch to the bomb setting because we're not terribly far from the target. We're over the mountains and the target will be on the far side of this mountain range. It's a port we're going to be attacking, and I'll leave the master switch off, but I'll also make sure the guns are in the off position, which they are. Very satisfying click sound when you move these switches in the cockpit here. It's a very audible click. Aircraft in front are climbing again just to go over a ridge. I think they'll dip. Will they dip for the next valley? We'll find out. They've basically been told to follow the terrain to a degree, so they may just go up and down as we pass through these little valleys. We'll get a bit of an outside view now that we're in the low lighting conditions. Getting quite hard to see the other aircraft, although they are just reflecting the sun on their right hand sides. So I've got 4 slightly yellowish kind of objects over here, and then when they pop up with the sky in the background, they silhouette. It's so beautiful. That sunset over there. Wow. Quite close to this ridge, just sliding over it here. Probably only 50 meters above that. My wingman's probably gone up a little, and you can see these guys here really are doing a good job of staying relatively in touch with the terrain. I've seen DCS AI aircraft do all sorts of random things. when flying close to the terrain, but these guys are doing a relatively good job. So there's up over a ridge and down the other side again. Now they're in a valley. They'll dip down possibly below that ridge line, and then they'll climb back up. Yep, down they go, below the ridge. What I'll do is I'll close the gap here by just staying level and throttling up, and then I'll throttle back down. And now we should see them pop up. They're completely shadowed there. There we go. There's the first two popping up, and there's the second two. There's the ocean. Right, so we are on our final run into the target now. There's a port and an airfield over there, just to the right of this bay that's coming up at Galenjik, and that is what we're going to be attacking. There should be some cargo ships and then some supply vehicles along the docks, and I've told the other aircraft to attack the supply vehicles, so they should go in first, and I may just hold off, in fact, let them attack. A few villagers here on the hillside with their lights on, unaware of what is about to happen. Only 20 kilometers down the road. So, final run in. Following this river valley, then we'll go around the ridge at 12. There's actually a small village that just climbs up to this ridge here. It's got a minaret by the looks of it, or a church tower. I think it's a minaret. Here we go. They will very soon peel off into their attack. So I'm going to brake left here, and they should attack first. There's the target area over there. Looks like they're going up. That is probably them shaping up for their attack. Now, I think he's the leader, so he's probably going to go in first. And the other aircraft have now disappeared out of sight. So, target is those ships parked, or berthed, should I say, over there. And we're going to head out to sea and just position ourselves a little bit offshore. Okay, I do make out a formation up there. Don't want this to take too long. Oh, did I see an aircraft? Maybe not. Probably switch to the external views to watch the AI attack here. Myself and my wingman. Here's one of them. He's just about right over the target. There he is. Bomb's gone. He just dropped his bombs. So let's now watch over there. See if we'll see these detonations. There we go. First detonation. Okay, so they've started dropping their bombs. I'm going to go master arm on and confirm again that the cannons are in safe position, and I'm going to try and drop a couple of bombs on the ships. So let's go up here, and you can see the AI are attacking the vehicles on the land side. I'm going to try and get a couple of bombs away on a ship. Let's just get the gun sight a bit brighter here. That'll do. I don't want to completely obscure the target. So there's... oh, another bomb going off down below. I'm going to try and line up bow to... stern to bow on one of these ships. Here we go. And I'll try and get 2 bombs away. And we go on the centre ship of the 3. Bit of left rudder here. Okay, and bomb, bomb, bomb. Okay, I got 3 away in the end. Let's turn away and climb up. You can see splashes. And it looks like my bombs went long. Yes, long. It's another aircraft. My wingman, I think. Okay, I've got 1 more bomb left, and then I'm going to switch to rockets. This time I'm lined up on one that's parked on the... it's parked along the berth. It's berthed along the quay, rather. Okay. Let's see if this works. Bit of right rudder. Last bomb gone. That'll be quick to land. Oh, just behind the stern. Okay, right, so bomb's gone. No effect. We're going to switch off that one, and rockets on. Okay, now we have the rockets. Let's try again. Rocket attack. No flak so far, which is good. Not sure why I haven't seen any. Getting dark now. It's getting increasingly difficult to see. Okay, I'll line up on this ship and we'll try. I think we got him. Yeah, she's on fire. She's on fire. Last attack now with any remaining rockets. Try and hit one of these other ships. Very hard to see. It's very dark down here now. That's it. Oh, good strike. So it's time to RTB. Left a bit of ruination here over the target area. I've got 2 ships on fire and quite a few of the landside vehicles are also burning. So it looks like the AI did their job, and so have I. Now we're going to head about 090 for home. I'll get us moving and then we'll check the map. Let's look at our fuel situation. 3.5. Started with 5.5, so we should make it home just fine. Wingman should be rejoining me soon. One last look back at the target. Burning ships. Now you can see I've still got 2 bombs slung underneath. So I had 6 bombs to start with. I'm gonna drop those now. I'm actually gonna arm them and drop them. No, it's probably best not to. Civilians. Let's just see if there's a jettison switch. Emergency bomb. Let's have a look at this. Right, you can see the bombs just. If I do that under the centre. So I'm going to have that emergency bomb. And that's good. That's got rid of them. Good. I don't know if they're armed. It's probably a village down here. Very good. Let's throttle back. 90%. And our heading is 03. So we're going to come right.
Konskaya, Springfield, 1-1. Request navigation assistance.
I don't know if the radios are enabled. Seems not. So what I'll do is I'll use the F10 map here just to get a fix. Looks like pretty much 090, and you can see the AI formations. Both pairs are still flying along perfectly. So we'll come on to 090, and that should take us straight back in. Still see the smoke from the target way back there. Stars now starting to emerge. And time to dim the gun sight back down. I'm going to turn the brightness up on the cockpit just a fraction here. Show you the effect of the floodlighting too now. That's the fully floodlit cockpit. As you can see, very bright when it's on full, but get a very nice level of cockpit lighting with that setting down nice and low. Beautiful in the evening. So it's now 9:30. Just got to maintain 090 for about 10 minutes. There's the big lakes. I think those are at Krasnodar. I think. Let's just check. Krasnodar, is that the name of that city up here? Yeah, Krasnodar. And then we're just another 30 miles or so east and slightly south. So you can see the cockpit lighting reflecting off the canopy, and if you disable the floodlights you lose the reflections. So it's actually quite handy when flying to turn those off. If I see if they adjust. Yeah, they do adjust. So the brighter you've got the internal floodlighting, the brighter those reflections. I am going to keep them on just so that I can see the floodlight itself. But you can get rid of those. In fact, let's get rid of them. Let's fly with a nice dim cockpit. Don't think my wingman has caught up. Don't see him. Now that I've climbed, I can actually see the sun again. But if I descend, the sun will disappear back below the horizon. And everything's getting lovely and dark here. You'll notice the clouds do not rotate when you move your head around. It's one thing I really appreciate about DCS. Even though these are not the actual clouds they really want for this platform, they are working on these clouds, they've said a number of times. They still don't do weird rotating things like clouds do in other sims. I really like that. So the lake is basically off our left now. I'm really hoping they've got the lights on at Maycourt. And because we don't have the radio working, I don't think, in the Skyhawk, it makes it a bit difficult to call up the field and get them to turn the lights on. Which is what you normally do in DCS. You ring up the field and say you're inbound, and they'll turn the airport lights on for you. There's a UHF radio there. Aha! Okay, I may be able to actually get this working. Let's go for... Let's see if we can find the radio frequency from Maycourt. Should be right at the very end of this. Nope, it's not there. I've just come right. I need to adjust. Maycourt. Let's see if we got a radio frequency here. Okay, if there is one, I'm not seeing it. We are beyond the lake now. And it's starting to get rather dark. You can see my wingman's aircraft is now in position. He's caught up and plunked himself off my wing. We'll start descending. have preset channel 1. Let's see. Can we get... Aha! 254 hertz. According to that screen. 254. Well, I can change one of them. It's probably a bad idea to do the right 254. Okay, let's see if we're now talking to Michael. No, it doesn't look like it.
Konskaya, Springfield 1-1. Request navigation assistance.
Let's see if we get a reply. Could use TACAN. But I think I'm going to have to use the F10 map here because it seems like MyCorp is not responding. So I don't know if it's because the radios are not working in the mod, but I'm on the right channel there, 254. I'm on transmit receive. Let's go transmit receive and ground. We'll try that one. Nope, still nothing.
Konskaya, Springfield 1-1. Request navigation assistance.
Okay, so basically the airfield now should be dead ahead of me and I'm pretty much lined up. So let's look for it. There. Okay, so we're good to line up and make an approach. Disappears as we zoom out. It's one of the other things I'd like them to see to in DCS is if they could have the runway lighting as bright as they have the town lighting so that we could see it from range. External lights can go on now. We're going to overfly and then we're going to go into a left-hand brake into downwind. Make that a little brighter. Coming over the threshold now, we'll go to a left hand. Now, is my altimeter correct? That says 500, yeah. So altimeter looks correct. Fine, I'll climb up to 500 again and we'll go around. There we are, 500. Go around in a left hand. Okay, a little bit of thrust. Still way too fast. Deploy the air brakes. Trim the nose up. 200. I don't believe I have a landing light configured, so we're going to land without the landing light. It's going to be a nice dark landing. Around we go in the left hand, air brake back in. I'll add the gear. Now, losing a bit of airspeed there. Got one notch. Flaps are in. Flaps are out rather, deployed. We're a bit low. 120 knots. Power on. Power on. And I'm going to have to just reduce power as we come around and level the wings. There we go, reducing power. Reducing power now. Okay, we're on short final. Okay, 120. Just a little bit off center there. Try and line it up better. Okay, 120. And there's our threshold. And push the nose down now. There we go. And roll it out. It takes a long time for this airplane to slow down. The brakes don't function at above about 40 kilometers per hour. The brakes pretty much don't work. We're still doing 80 knots, so you actually need the full length of the runway to stop. Okay, my nose is just coming up of its own accord there. Still nothing from the brakes. Still nothing. But you can see you really need crap loads of runway. So if you don't make your landing touchdown early, you have to go around. I don't know if it's something that they're going to address, but basically I found that it's impossible. Okay, we're just rolling quite slowly now. And try the brakes again. There we go, the brakes are actually working now. Good, we are home at Maycorp. And what I'll do is I'll turn around here. And we'll taxi back. Try and get the full use. Turns on a dime. This is full right rudder. Nose wheel basically goes 90 degrees. And I'm just going to check the controls, see if we can assign our landing light, because I think it would be nice to at least have something here. Okay, we've come to a stop basically. So I was unable to find a landing light. I don't know if anyone else knows where one is. But I've exited the runway and I'm taxiing away now down this taxi path. It's all very dark, so I think that's going to be the end of the video. We can't really see much more now. I hope that was enjoyable. A strike in the A4 with the help of some AI and a bit of a look at night flying and a VFR landing in the dark. Thanks for watching, everyone. I highly recommend this mod. If you're considering getting a mod and you're into the jets, then download this. Like I said, it doesn't cost you a penny. Also, if you've never tried DCS before because of financial reasons, well, this will cost you nothing. You can have the Caucasus map and you can have the mod all for free, and you can do all this yourself without spending a penny. Thanks for watching. See you again. Happy hunting.